How many of us find an excuse of why we can't achieve something? Our next guest did something unbelievable, and his story of inspiration is out in a brand new book. You're looking at Anthony Robles, his brand new book, Unstoppable. He is true inspiration. From an underdog, born with only one leg, and recently became NCAA champion at wrestling. His story is amazing. He joins us right now. Anthony, I've got to ask you, was it tougher writing a book or wrestling in the championship match?
Nothing was harder than wrestling that match. 20,000 people watching. I was so scared I was fighting back tears running out of that tunnel. So, Dan Gable said once you've wrestled, everything else is easy. It's true.
Anthony, thanks for sharing that quote. Quite inspiring. Also, there's a moment in the book I want you to talk about, is when you went to practice in high school and your coach had prepared a little bit differently. Explain.
Yeah, my high school coach, Bobby Williams, I walked in and I found out he had taped his legs together and he was moving around on the mat because he wanted to mimic how I felt, what I went through, so he could coach me in the best possible way. And Coach Williams, from the very beginning, he just was patient with me, and he believed in me that I could be a champion. And so in return, I believed in myself, and we worked together to develop this unique style of wrestling that was very effective for me. And it was all about just focusing on your strengths and camouflaging your weaknesses. And he's more than just a coach to me. He's a father figure, and I was so happy when he got to be at Nationals in my senior year in college to see me win it, because there's no way I would have gotten there without him.
I love how you say camouflage your weaknesses. When in your career did you realize only having one leg could actually be a gift from God?
From day one, my mom always told me God made me this way for a reason. And I never knew what that reason was, but I think when I got to college, and after my senior year, when I was standing on that national mat, after I won the championship, they say new national champion. That's when it finally clicked in my head. This was the plan for my life. This is what I was meant to do, not just to wrestle, but now to help inspire others, to help them through their challenges. And I felt like I had found the calling for my life. It was more than just wrestling. It was to inspire and to help give back now.
Well, Anthony, you definitely inspire us. Take us back to that moment on the mat for the national championship. When did you realize that the whole country had tuned in, including myself?
I think it was right after I stepped off the mat. I did a quick interview with ESPN, but I turned on my phone and it blew up with text messages and phone calls. And my Facebook, I checked my Facebook. I had 5,000 friend requests that night on my Facebook, so I hit the limit there. So that's when things kind of opened up. I was like, wow, this is, I guess, a lot more people were watching at home than I thought. So it was an amazing experience for me, and I just feel very blessed and very appreciative for all the support I've gotten.
Well, Anthony, the support is so well deserved. How did you find your way to Arizona State?
They were in my backyard. I was a hometown boy from Mesa, Arizona, and they had been calling me. They said they were interested in having me on the team. That they couldn't give me much wrestling money that first year. So they said, if you do well, we'll give you scholarship money a few years down the road. And so I walked onto the program with an academic scholarship. Took a night job washing airplanes, but it was an opportunity. I needed to pay the price. I needed to earn the scholarship. And all I needed was a school to believe in me and give me a chance, and that was Arizona State. And it was an amazing journey going through there and being a Sun Devil.
Well, I'm certainly glad they recognized your talents. Now, you went into that match undefeated, something like 90-something-0. Tell us about the pressure of the moment. How did you handle it?
Oh man, it was terrifying. I was fighting back tears, and when the match started, I was still pretty nervous, just because I was shell-shocked, knowing everybody was watching. But one of the things that clicked into my head is, about 20 seconds in the match, it just popped into my head that I was thinking, I worked too hard. I worked too hard to lose. I paid the price to get this. Now I just got to follow through. And I think you see about 30 seconds into my match, that's when I forced the attack. I started going at it, and then you just started to click from there. But I knew I sacrificed enough to get there, so I was ready to finish it.
Well, Anthony, that must have been an incredible feeling. Anyone facing a challenge out there today, Anthony, what would you say to them?
I would say we all wrestle with our own challenges. We all wrestle with our own obstacles, and there's always something waiting around the corner that's going to challenge us. But what I like to say is that you can't let the challenge become an excuse. You can't let the challenge pull you down and pin you to the mat. You got to fight through it and figure out a way to get it done and become unstoppable.
Well, one thing's for sure, the title of the book speaks volumes to you. You are truly unstoppable. Thanks for your inspiration, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for talking with me.